these are my last moments. And she goes, I just felt a peace. And I started stroking his neck, the back of his neck, just like in it, like a consensual type of, affectionate type of way. And he just went, boom, pushed up off of her and looked at her weird, stopped the sexual assault, drove her back to Berkeley.
Oh, I did not expect that to be the outcome. Is there anything that you suggest we shouldn't do if we fear that our life is at stake?
If the offender is trying to move you, you do everything you can to prevent that from happening, because what's going to happen at the second location is far worse than what he's going to do to you there. So like I talk to my kids, you know, and if somebody's trying to grab them, and they're older now, but when they were younger, I don't care if they have a gun, I don't care if they have a knife. You do not let them get you into a vehicle or to a second location, because then that's when the horrors actually start. But I do think that if you are now in the process of being attacked, whether it's with the purpose of getting you into a vehicle or moving you to a second location, or somebody is attacking you, you have to fight, and you fight for your life. The one tactic is, let's say this guy is just absolutely overpowering you. There's nothing, you know, you're realizing there's nothing you can do. And he seems to be amping up during the fight. Try going limp. In case this guy is a sexual sadist. So, several examples I'll give. I have a woman, 1969, she was hitchhiking in Berkeley. Guy picks her up, and next thing she knows, he's not following her direction. He takes her up into the hills and ends up raping her in the front of his car. And she remembers looking out at the trees and the sun, you know, the sunlight coming through the leaves, and she's going, these are my last moments. And she goes, I just felt a peace. And I started stroking his neck, the back of his neck, just like in it, like a consensual type of, affectionate type of way. And he just went, boom, pushed up off of her and looked at her weird, stopped the sexual assault, drove her back to Berkeley.
Oh, I did not expect that to be the outcome.
There's a case example up out of the Pacific Northwest where a sex worker is pulled into the dark parking lot area, and the guy is on top of her, and he's taking a knife and is literally just carving her up, right? She's fighting. He's just getting more and more excited, and she goes, I'm dead. And she goes limp. He gets up and he walks away, because the sexual sadist is there to perform the sadistic acts and get that fear, the scream, the infliction of pain. And when you go limp, that they no longer are getting what they have fantasized about. But the problem is that if the guy doesn't stop, then you need to re-engage and fight for your life again. You know, that's just the reality of it. And there are most certainly women that are capable of physically fending off a man that's attacking them. But there is going to be the scenario where the man is just so much more powerful and possibly even skilled at various types of fighting. If this is a petite woman and she just physically can't do it, you know, this is where you're gouging eyes, you're doing whatever you can. You know, there's no holds barred when you're fighting for your life against that. But you have to avoid getting into that isolated situation with a guy that you're going, there's just no way.